Hey, it's Asheron. We are playing the Altars. It's day 10 in the morning, and our scientist is alive now. Well, let's go get him.
Hey, how are you feeling? Well, I'll be damned. You okay? Surprisingly, okay. Especially considering what I'm seeing. Very clearly. Good. Do you, remember your name? Of course. But I think you know perfectly well who I am. So let's not waste time. Just tell me, how much did you find? What? How much rapidium is there? Did we get a breakthrough? Yeah, you bet. There's a lot of it. Good. That's good. Wait, how do you know? Well, isn't it obvious? I wake up seeing someone who looks and sounds like me, which has to mean we share the same DNA. Then there's the glasses. What about them? They're fake. Probably just manufactured to make me feel more like myself, but completely unnecessary otherwise, because here I am with perfectly good eyesight in the womb module, which could only lead to one conclusion: that my body was created to replicate someone who doesn't wear glasses. You. And to do that, of course, you would need to have found rubidium. Besides, I can see no other explanation for a sheep inside a space base. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wow, you're right. That's impressive. I did create you out of my DNA. We're not identical, of course. I can see you're not as quick to process information. And that's the interesting part. Yeah, um, our bodies are the same, but our minds are not. I needed a scientist on board, but there's always a scientist on board. So, what went wrong? Uh, the old crew is gone. They're all dead. That's why I needed to alter myself into different versions. With the use of the quantum computer on board and something called mind records. Oh, I see. A recalculated mind based on an infinite amount of variables to contain the desired consciousness in a biological vessel. That actually sounds plausible. So, what do you need from me now?
I just realized that I didn't adjust my sounds, so I'm going to turn this down a little bit. So if you turned it down already because it was kind of loud, you're probably going to need to strain a little bit to hear them because they're going to be quieter now. Um, Possibly turn it down a little bit, but there we go. So I said get some rest first the first time that I did this, and he got mad at me about it, so I'm just going to say get to work immediately.
You have to get our research lab running at once. We need to make some improvements fast if we want to succeed. Then I guess the sooner I start, the better. You're right. Why don't you start with going through the mission logs? I need to get the full picture first. My thoughts exactly. Good. This might work.
So I said get some rest the first time, and he was like, what part of me being ready to go do you not understand? And I was like, okay. All right, buddy. Also, I'm looking at this floor, and I think I thought that was just meant to be a 2D floor, but I think we're meant to be seeing the cables underneath, which is pretty cool, actually. That is actually pretty cool looking. I wish I could move my camera around, because that would be great. But yeah, that's actually kind of neat. Okay, yeah, and then there's more cables over here. It would make sense for the womb to be like right next to the quantum computer, but that's not how I have it set up. I could move it. In fact, I think I'm going to. And then we'll put one of the storage things over here, maybe. This. Oh, that's not the one I should have done. Okay, whatever. Alright, so now the womb is right next to the quantum computer. So that feels better. Right? It feels like that's how that should be. And then you have the cables that just run across underneath the floor. Makes sense. Alright, nobody wants to talk to us. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. I haven't assigned... Oh, that's because he doesn't have a research desk yet. Research station. Research lab. That's what those are called. Where did I put the research lab? One sec. I'm checking my... Oh, I put it down there. Okay. I'm checking my map of, like, where I placed things. I did not place it there. We rarely have to go into the machinery room, so I put the research lab down here. And yeah, I think that looks good. How big is the social room? Size is 6? Really? Yeah, it's the same size as the dormitory. Alright, I might end up putting the social room near the dormitory. I don't know. I don't know yet. But I do want to make one. Okay, so we're running low on stuff. I gotta remember where I put things. Alright, research lab goes down there. Okay, so let's put the scientist in the research lab. Let's go down and give him stuff to study. Let's do... mining metals, and then we'll do non-metals. Okay. That is everybody assigned.
Busy day, huh?
And then what do I need? Because I need to make another mining outpost. I need metals. A lot of metals. But we are gonna not worry about that right now. Hopefully he's gonna go and be working. Is he over there? Yeah, he's over there. You can see him right there. Just near drilling away. Place this down. I have to hold it. See, I see. Alright, so I already know this is where I can place a rubidium mine. These selenite rods. I'm not going to stop calling them selenite rods because that's exactly what they look like. If you know what selenite rods look like, you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't know what they look like, that's what they look like. Like, I don't... That's exactly what they look like. Alright, so you can't drill that wall from this side. I know from experience. Oh, more rubidium. And we've got metals right here. I need to have my technician do something else. Because we're gonna have full unorganic matter. And I'm going to blast this. And I'm going to do that because I'm going to connect that outpost up here.
Okay. This is not good. We are surrounded. Damn it. So much for Plan B.
See, these guys are very cinematic. I appreciate that. Lots, like, really good artistic capabilities. Artistic eye, I guess. I don't know. Gonna get down there. I do want my travel pylon, you are correct. How many pylons do I have? I have one. Okay. Alright, well we have gotten significantly more metals.
Should I take care of this now?
I think we'll do this and then head back. Hopefully this will be enough.
Could you check if we still got some storage space?
Hopefully it'll be enough for me to make the pylons that I need and whatever else I need. Run fast.
These loose rocks look like they might be passable.
Do they?
If only I had a tool to drill through them.
If only. Only I did. Not enough storage space. Look, our big water thing, our organics thing, is nice and full. I like that that gets more or less full depending on how much material you have on hand. Okay. So I need to build storage space. Here we go. We have one. Two. Each module built makes your base heavier, which means you're going to need more organics to move it. Okay, so I need my mining outpost. Need pylons. We have 2 rad filters. So we probably need to make a couple of those. And a drill cartridge. Okay. And then how are we on food? We're still pretty good on food. And the next day, we'll just go, I guess we'll go to sleep.
Busy day, huh?
Actually, we'll talk to the technician. Because I don't know what he wants to talk about.
Okay. I went beyond the rocks. It doesn't look good. The lava river is vast as hell. I'll be straight with you. There's no way around it.
Holy shit. What now?
I guess we need to get across somehow. Any ideas up your smart-ass sleeve?
So now I'm smart, huh?
Still, even I might not be enough. But a smarter version of us? Yeah, he could do the trick. The scientist. He could look for a solution in that research lab you built. Okay, let's give it a go.
Alright. Go. Add that to the scientist's queue. Mission crossing the lava river. Then I'm gonna go queue up some meals just in case there's somebody who does run out of things to actually do.
Look at this beauty. Jan gave me my old lucky multi-tool. Cool.
We have a call. Let's go to the call. Oh, is this where I get to discuss my theory in full? Alright, we'll find out. Alright. So this is where I get to discuss it. Look at this guy's face. Tell me that is not our guy. Tell me that is not Jan's face, just as an adult. Like, an adult. Just as an old man. Tell me that's not him. Because I swear... I saw this face and I was like, wait a second, that looks like just another person. Like, just another of them. If he's not one of them, he's got a very similar face. So, that's my theory. When I said a couple episodes ago, I was like, I have a theory as to whose altar, like, who they're an altar of. This was my theory, is that I think Maxwell's the original. I think he made clones of himself and then sent them out.
Hello?
Jan Dolsky. Finally. I've been impatient to meet you.
Yeah, sure. You that big fish Lucas was mumbling about?
Terrence Maxwell. But yes, I am both his and your superior at mining operations. First of all, my heartfelt condolences. Losing the whole crew must have been hard on you.
Also, like, it sounds like he's doing another voice. So, I feel like this voice actor better have gotten paid well because he did like 20 voices. But I think this is another voice that they put on. Plus, they kind of have a voice modulator going. So, I'm just saying, that's my theory. Either he always sends out just like one copy of himself for the reasons that I said in like the first or second video, where it's to limit the human losses. Because if they just send out copies, those aren't like real people. So if they go somewhere and it doesn't have rupidium and then they die, they're like, oh, oops, sad. But if they sent like real people or like a whole real crew, then, you know, people would be upset that they're just sending all these people out to all these areas of space and just losing them. But also, if they do that and then they find rupidium, therefore they can clone themselves, then they have a chance of success. So basically, it relies on them finding rupidium. They don't find rupidium, they can't clone themselves, they die. They do find rupidium, they can clone themselves, they live. And then they do exactly what they sent them out there to do. And so it makes sense from that perspective. And then they just stage the whole idea of, oh, you lost your crew, because that way it'll motivate him to not like rebel, right? Because if he knows he just got sent out there alone, he would rebel. But the other theory, so that's my main theory, but the other theory is that this really was a full crew, and that Maxwell did this particular mission himself. Like, he had a hand in what happened here, and that Jan is still his altar, and it wasn't what they were supposed to do. That something, you know, he did something. But that's my second theory. My first is that they always just send one altar. So anyways, back to the conversation.
Yeah. I still can't get over it.
Their families have been informed. They're grief-stricken, as you can imagine. But the deaths of their loved ones will go down in history as part of a pioneering discovery. Your discovery.
So, do people know I found rupidium?
We're keeping the news within a very limited circle. It's only wise for the time being.
Of course. Yeah. No reason to get everyone hyped up. Might still fail.
I can see you're a grown man, Jan, and you understand the stakes. I don't want to put pressure on you, but failure is not an option.
That's why you had me create my altars? You'd rather let me lose my mind than lose the rupidium?
It was a long shot, I admit. But we were saving both rupidium And you, Jan. Do you think it was a mistake?
I have mixed feelings. Sure, it's better to be alive, but I feel like a line's been crossed.
You certainly have a chance to experience something extraordinary. Many people would envy you.
Let's just get one thing straight, Maxwell. I know you expect things of me, but I'm no hero.
Ah, heroism. Are you familiar with the works of Albert Camus?
Let's just say, of course.
Of course.
Then we will understand each other well. Camus believed heroism was easy, accessible. For him, it was living a normal man's life that was a true challenge. Being decent. Doing the right thing. You are the first person to prove that we can actually excavate rupidium in quantities that can really make a difference. A dream the biggest corporations have been chasing for over a decade now, constantly failing. You say you're not a hero? Well, maybe I don't need you to be one. Maybe you should just carry on being a decent man, Jan Dulski.
Okay, you're buttering me up for something big here. Let's cut to the chase.
Hard-headed. I like that. You've probably noticed how different rupidium looks in reality than on the training materials they showed you.
Why is that?
It changes form constantly. Its chemical structure is so volatile that it is almost impossible to capture two particles in the same state. A fleeting substance. Spectacular. But also very unstable.
How come it works then?
Not enough tests were run to explain that. The only sample ever found in space was researched inside a mobile base like your own, but it never made it back to Earth. It lasted long enough to demonstrate its amazing qualities, only to disintegrate somewhere between the Copernicus and the Hyades cluster.
So, you're afraid the rupidium I found might not withstand the journey?
I know it won't. That's why we came up with a special container for it. An ark.
You mean like a box?
A hermetic module dedicated specifically to storing and transporting rupidium. We have blueprints for it. Lucas should send the necessary data over to you by the time we finish talking. Constructing a rupidium ark should be your primary focus now.
Listen, you're very convincing, but I'm afraid I just won't have the time to do it. I need to find a way forward before the sun comes up.
You're losing faith easily. Look how far you've come. You survived the landing. You found rupidium. Then you branched yourself and managed to get the base moving. Would you really be happy with yourself if it all went to waste?
Waste? Wow. Is that what you consider saving my life?
Your life, my life. Let's face it. All it is a predetermined string of events, distorted with myriads of random, meaningless decisions. We spend centuries looking for some kind of sense in it, some kind of meaningful pattern or recipe. Still, no satisfactory answer comes. Until, once in hundreds, maybe thousands of years, a chance appears to make a leap in our understanding of reality.
Whew. What can I say?
I don't know. But whatever you make of it, let me bare my soul to you. I think these are rare moments that matter. So, enough talking. Lucas said you had questions. Is there anything you'd like to ask me?
So I wanted to speak on that because that was the moment that I formed my theory, is when he goes, said something about saving, he goes, something saving my life. And he goes, your life, my life, we're just all, a series of the decisions that we make. And I was like, wait a second. And he just said, your life, my life. I was already thinking that he looks a lot like Jan. And then he says, your life, my life. Like, who is to say? And I'm like, okay. So that also had me fairly convinced that he is an alter of Maxwell. And like when I first started the game, the very first time, I was already pretty quickly like, I wonder if he's really the original or if he's an alter himself. And then we had this conversation, and I was like, oh, he's an alter of this guy. So that's my prevailing theory. All right, let's ask these questions.
What will happen to my alters when we get back?
I don't know. Yet. I don't need to tell you this is unprecedented. There are no good practices here, but I know one thing. You can trust me and Lucas completely.
Sure.
But if anyone else contacts you, it's absolutely vital you don't tell them anything about the existence of the altars.
What? Why?
You know very well why, Jan. The law has been violated.
I thought Lucas said the branching was authorized.
You haven't been listening. There are no procedures for this sort of situation. There is no one who can officially authorize such an act. At the end of the day, it was your decision to branch yourself. It will be in your best interest to keep that in mind when considering the consequences.
I don't like the sound of this.
We will come back to it later, I'm sure. Right now, I'll have to leave you shortly. Is there anything else?
So I don't love it when games have a mechanic where it's like, okay, you have to pick who to trust and make your decisions based on who you trust. But the reason I don't like it is because a lot of games kind of don't give you good measures for who to trust. And so you end up just kind of having the 50-50, or they leave reasons, but they're very subtle. And so it's easy to get confused. And then if you pick wrong, you just screw up everything, right? Especially if they do it early in the game. And so you make a decision early in the game and then it screws up the rest of your game and you can't get like a good ending. I hate that. So what I'm hoping is that this will be a game where it's basically, I like it when the game is be a good person. And if you're a good person and you make the choices that a good person would make, you get the good ending. And not like, oh, do we trust Maxwell and Lucas, or do we trust this other entity that no doubt is going to end up contacting us and tell them about the altars and force their hand or whatever. Because I don't like not knowing. So, and I'm sure that's what's going to happen. So we're going to get contacted by somebody and they're going to be like, hey, they're lying to you. This is what's really going on. You need to tell us, blah, 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 blah. And then we have to decide. And I don't love that. All right, let's continue.
The branching procedure. There's a story there. Tell me.
It is something that has been tested long ago within Ally Corp. But for completely different reasons and, as you can imagine, in a much more rudimentary fashion.
Yeah, long ago, when you were this age.
Records? For whom?
I'm sorry, Jan. It's highly classified and I already told you too much. I think you deserve answers, but regarding this matter, like I said, things were tested just for a while. Not much came of it. Now, I'd love to keep on chatting, but I really will need to be ending this call soon. Do you have any more questions?
So he's like, we tested it long ago. Not a lot. Just long enough when I was your age for me to clone myself.
Do you know what happened to my crew?
Lucas showed me the records. I have a theory, but it's more of a hunch. I don't have any hard proof to support it.
What is it?
Well, I think it might have been the quantum processing unit that killed them.
What? But that's... No, that's crazy.
Do you read detective stories, Jan? The culprit always needs to have two things. A motive and a means. Well, it certainly had a means to do it.
But why?
Like I said, it's just a hunch. I'm afraid I won't have much more time for now, Jan. Do you have any other questions?
No. I'm good.
Rapidium Arc, Jan. That's what you should focus on right now. Your secret is safe with me and Lucas. Once you come back with a remedy for Earth's ailments, nobody will think of punishing you for how you got it. Remember, just do the right thing. Now, I really have to go, but it was a pleasure talking to you, and we will talk more, I promise. Until then.
So he's like, he very clearly says, just do the right thing, which I feel like is maybe the game giving you a hint. Just do the right thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. Also, the fact that he suggested that the quantum computer could have done it. I did also have another theory, which was that the quantum computer, so they say in the information that it like runs all these calculations and determines the highest probability for success to get rupidium, and it puts the crew there and does whatever it needs to do. And so my other theory was that maybe in its calculations it calculated that Jan and a bunch of Jans had... When you say Jan a lot, you can hear the fact that Ian comes from Jan. Jan was the name first, and then Ian is like the descendant of Jan. And you can hear like Eon in it when you say it too many times. Anyway, so that is my other theory, is that the quantum computer decided that for some reason a bunch of him had a better chance of success for mining the rupidium than the crew that they already had. But who knows? Alright, let's talk to him.
So, how are you? Settling in all right? Settling in is overrated. I analyze reality from wherever I am, however uncomfortable the angle. There's always an observation to be made. I'd love to hear what you managed to observe. This place is not run optimally. Yeah, I know. I wasn't trained to command a mission. But now that you're here, with your experience, I'd love to pick your brain. Do you think you could mentor me? Good thinking. First of all, you need to set long-term goals and draw up a roadmap for each of them. Remember to include all unpredictable variables in the equation. That way you can have contingency plans at the ready for each instance. All right, slow down. Prioritize resources. Do not waste time on idle conversations with the crew. Hide the booze. Don't be cheap on coffee. That slow enough for you? You mean idle conversations like the one we're having now? Like the one you're trying to turn this into? I'm not falling for it. Truth is, I really wish we could make use of the tech I worked on for all these imaginary years. It would make things so much easier if it existed. So what exactly was your research about? Nanotech in space exploration. We went from a humble startup to making headlines in a few months. Taking our solutions to the front line was my dream come true. The data we could bring back. You had big plans for it. Well, now it's all gone. Yeah, I understand how lousy that must feel. Honestly, I don't think you do. But I hope we're not going to sit around crying about it. There's work to be done, here and now. That's true. Well, let's get to it then.
Here's another conversation for me. Dude, I just want to play the game. I like relationship elements in games, but it's kind of a lot.
Hey,
Oh, it's a gift
I
giving.
found this. I brought it on this mission, but thought that maybe it could mean something to you too. Oh, interesting. A motivational hoodie. Motivational? More like demotivational. I only kept it because it's really comfy. Of course you did. It doesn't remind you of all that determination and ambition that fueled my academic success. Anyway, thanks. I appreciate it.
Alright, how are my altars doing? He's pretty. Joker. He's kind of happy. Yeah, these two are pretty much in the middle. Alright.
Man, I'm telling you, we need it.
And I'm telling you, this is the least important of our priorities. You have got to be kidding me.
You're gonna be grateful if we have better food. Oh, I can make the greenhouse. Where does the greenhouse go? Right now, this is about the only place it can fit. Yeah. I don't want it to be all the way down there for no reason. Okay. Raw food. I need to assign them some different places. Actually, maybe I'll just go work the organics outpost. What is it telling me? Organic. Oh, because it hasn't been used up yet. That's why. Okay. Alright. We'll just go back to the base and make some food then. Because I can't do any of the outside of the base stuff while he's busy making the items that need to be made. So. We'll grow some food.
Hey, there's something I gotta tell you.
Right. We'll go talk to the miner, so it begins.
Busy day, huh?
Hey, you wanted to talk about something?
Yeah.
What is it?
I need something to, you know, keep me going. I feel like shit.
What do you mean?
The arm that I lost in an accident. It's weird, but it hurts. I mean, fuck, it hurts.
But your arm's there. And it looks fine.
I know it's fucked up, but so is everything else here. This arm is yours, not mine. I'm not some kind of wimp, so if I say it hurts, it really fucking hurts, alright?
Okay, calm down. I believe you.
Alright, so, you know there's only one way to deal with it, right? Numb the son of a bitch.
What are you talking about?
Painkillers, what else? Tramadol, hydrocodone, codeine, or that shit you
God
don't
damn it,
know
you little.
before. That should do the trick.
If you got that reference, leave me a comment and tell me that you got it. It was the codeine. God damn it, you little. I can't see the next part. You got nothing nice to say, then don't say nothing. Alright, so we're gonna give it to him to put off him cutting off his own arm.
I could give you some more.
Again,
That's what I'm
spoilers,
talking
but that's what
about.
happens.
Just don't go too heavy on it. Could be addictive.
Like I don't know that. I hit rock bottom in my life more than once. But I ain't going back down there. I've learned my lessons. Don't you worry your ugly ass.
Yeah, if you don't give him the medication, it just keeps hurting more, and then he hurts himself, and then he cuts his arm off, and it's traumatic. I was traumatized the first time that I saw it. I was like, oh my god, what happened? So, let's see. I want to see what he made today. I don't have to go in here to see it, but oh good, he made everything except for the drill cartridge. So that means that we have another miner, so I can go and start getting the minerals. Actually, we're going to go ahead and end this video here. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here. As always, please leave a like, leave a comment, all those fun things. Subscribe if you're enjoying watching this. Click on the playlist if you want to watch more of these, and have a good one. Goodbye.